Reaperman here, and today I am just filming a little bit of Blazing Star, and I'm using this to kind of test out my whole streaming and capture system up here in my main game room. So I'm just going to pick the Windia down here. Now this is one of my favorite shmups for Neo Geo. My absolute favorite is actually Aero Fighters 2. That's not It's well known that's not the best game on Neo Geo, but it is my favorite. This is, however, definitely in the running for best shmup on the system. And one of the reasons I'm into this is I've just bought a reproduction of Pulstar, which is the unofficial sequel to this thing, I guess you'd call it. Pulstar is a little closer to R-Type than this one, and from what I understand, there's some common people on the teams between Pulstar and R-Type, but this feels a little different. And I'm actually not the biggest fan of R-Type, so I tend to like this one a little bit more than Pulstar. Now with this one, I think the goal is to charge up your weapon and then take out as many enemies as possible with it. Also collect all these kind of lucky the letters that spell out lucky. If you get them all at the end, you get kind of a progressive bonus. And if you notice the multiplier on all those things that I just got, it actually gets up quite high. So the lucky is definitely worth grabbing. Oops. Lost my charge on that one. Now I'm playing this using a MAS Systems Neo Geo stick. And unfortunately, just a couple of months ago, I have gotten news that the MAS Systems people passed away. Apparently they were a husband and wife couple, at least at the end. And that's kind of sad news. I actually have a couple of MAS sticks. I have one for Sega Genesis and one for Neo Geo here. And they were one of the few companies out there that would put out an American-style stick. And this particular stick has Industrious Lorenzo controls on it. So I've actually got the convex buttons. Originally this came with concave hap all the way around, but the stick, the lever I guess you would call it, was a special MAS Opticon, they called it. And it seemed like those optical joysticks were all the rage for a little bit, but they just kind of overcomplicated everything. So I pulled it out for a standard old Industrious Lorenzo stick. Now, if you notice, all the graphics in this game are kind of pre-rendered 3D, as was the style at the time for 2D systems to try and look as 3D as possible. And this system is really an example of just how late Neo Geo tried to impress people by basically just throwing cartridge size at absolutely everything. Oh. So it's got a lot of audio samples in the soundtrack, and it's got, of course, all these pre-rendered backgrounds that it just keeps looping and looping and looping. It's not my actual favorite way to do backgrounds in a shmup, but there's plenty of other games that do it. Oh. Now, from what I understand, there's more than just the standard attack and charge attack. There's actually, if you immediately let up on A and press B, oh, it does do a little homing thing. Okay, that's literally my first time ever doing that. I've only recently seen it on a much better game guide than you're going to get out of me. I totally suck at this game. In fact, I cannot get to the level 3 boss, so we're actually coming to the end of this play around here, as I'm approaching the stage 2 boss now. Now, for the life of me, I can't find anybody willing to tell me what these little halo things, well, like that one. Well, that's actually a super deluxe big one, but oh, he seems to turn everything into power-ups. Okay, suddenly I'm getting at least that giant halo thing in its function. I do not entirely know what the little ones do, and for that I'm sorry, but I'm actually not good at shmups. I play them entirely for the backgrounds and kind of graphics. That's why I prefer top-down ones to side view ones, because I like the whole people look like ants kind of aspect of it here. I gotta remember to hold my fire because he's just passing quick, and I don't want to use my charge shot on that. Now, if you mash pretty fast, your shots turn orange, and you get a few more of them on screen. Ah. I do not know how I survived that. And now he's pulling out the big gun here. Ah. Ah. Run! He actually stops short of the top of the screen, so you can kind of get him a bit there. So there is a timer on every boss, and I am running out of time for this boss, actually. So hopefully he blows up. Oh, good. My skill is great, according to this game. So now if you notice, the lucky bonus goes up by like 50,000, so it's like 100,000 now. I'm unclear whether it keeps doubling every time or whether it keeps adding 50,000 every time, and that's mostly because I suck and can't complete level 3. And this is where I go into like kind of concentration mode. I did something or other to get a much higher score on my little practice run for this stream, but I have no idea what it was because I was over 1 million by this point. And I did not defeat the boss in any special quick way or anything like that. I was probably better with my with these things, because they actually generate an awful lot of points. And this is where I'm going to start dying, everybody. Oh, I am bad at this game. But I'm actually even worse at Pulsar. Or Pulstar, I guess. So that has like a little, ooh, there's an orange one. That one actually has the whole shield thing that attaches to the front. The entire reason I don't particularly like R-Type, and the reason most people really like R-Type. So if these repros are good from China, don't worry, I'll review them. Then I'll probably go and use them to fill out the rest of my Neo Geo collection here. Because there's a lot of games that I know I just won't ever buy. And at this point in my collecting career, that's usually because I don't quite like them enough. So this is actually a legitimate copy of Blazing Star, and I was lucky enough to pick this up on the Neo Geo forum for, oh gosh, 50 bucks, which was actually the going rate for Blazing Star at the time, because all of these high prices are relatively new occurrence in the Neo Geo world here. I think right now that this game's about a $150 game, and as far as $150 games go, I suppose it's worth it. You know, Neo Geo games. Oh, speaking of new Neo Geo games and expensive games and game news, I just got word the other day that Xenocrisis on Neo Geo had gone gold, and that's the first big expensive kind of homebrew that I've ever purchased. It's kind of a expensive game. I think it's £300, give or take. And unfortunately, even though the game's not out yet, it just went on 25% off sale with the code Xeno25. So bad news for me, but one of you guys might want to pick it up because it is actually a heck of a deal getting 75 pounds off of that. Okay. Charge up. At this point, if I die, I'm going to probably lose all my lives immediately. So, that was quite fortunate. I don't know how this thing is still alive. I actually don't know how I am still alive. But I do know I don't get the lucky bonus if I beat him, which is unfortunate because I can't ever answer my question then as to if the lucky bonus keeps doubling or if it just adds 50,000 every time. And somehow I'm still not up to my old high score. Actually, I am. I just beat it. But I really only got to the start of level 3 to get that score. So I don't know what I did, but I generated a lot more score for my play. Whoop. Yeah, I didn't make it very far in that level, but that's actually the first time I've ever seen level 4 because I'm not a type of person that continues a lot. In fact, I've turned my continues off. And we'll end right there, I suppose. But that's the farthest I've ever gotten in this game, and I'll probably do a review of Pulstar when I get it, and definitely do a review of Xenocrisis whenever it comes out. Until then, Reaperman out.